Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse, and today we're gonna be talking about some storage. Up here I have my EqualLogic PS400E iSCSI storage boxes. I have had those for years, and well, now I think I've come to the conclusion that I want to retire them because they're awesome. That's not why, but they are only able to handle 2 terabyte hard drives, even though there are 14 of them. 14 times 2 terabytes, well, you have 28 terabytes of data there. Then it runs in a RAID 6. There are different RAIDs that you can select, but RAID 6 is one of the still good ones that you can select, where you get a lot of capacity out of it. You can also go for a RAID 50 or RAID 60, considerably less capacity you get out of those. It has a lot of RAID options for sure. You can also do RAID 5, but it's not recommended. Together with the RAID 5 or the RAID 6, this is kind of an automatic system. You can go in and you can configure a lot, but a lot of the stuff the system will configure for itself. For example, it has 2 hot spares. You can't go in and just remove those 2 hot spares. You can if you do a little Linux mingling, but as a standard it has 2 hot spares. So in a RAID 6 like that, you lose 4 drives. So there are 10 drives left for your actual data. The rest is security, which is not bad. It's not that bad. So each of these boxes can house about 20 terabytes of data. Well, it's not bad, but it's getting to be a bit small, and I don't need that much data. I did talk about that in a previous video, but I've copied a lot of my stuff down to this one single server, and I also have, oh, it's just outside of view, this little Synology NAS over here, which handles the rest. And that one is able to handle 4 terabyte drives, so and that's in a RAID 5, so that has about a 12 terabyte capacity and security, even though it's only RAID 5. But they do also use quite a bit of power, these things, so, and they're noisy. It was so quiet in here. I've only turned on the top one. I'm just gonna be taking that down. I don't know if I'm gonna get it out of here today, but well, we're gonna have a look at that. That's easier said than done, because these are managed through a web interface, and guess what the web interface uses? Java. I tried with 2 laptops this morning, old ones. One of them had XP on it. Even that one I had updated too much to actually be able to run Java. Then I have a tiny little one. This one. It's a really old Fujitsu Lifebook that had Windows 98, and unfortunately I was not able to connect to my wireless network on it because the wireless network card does not. It's just too old. The security in my network is not compatible with that little laptop, and I didn't want to mess with that. So I had to go into the computer and make a virtual machine. So right now there is a virtual machine running on this server to control that iSCSI NAS. So let's go to the computer and see that. We have ever had a really closer look at this. This is what the box looks like. It has these 14 bays for drives, and it has a couple of LEDs. Power warning. We will go see what the warning is, and alarm, I think that means. Otherwise nothing on the front. On the back it looks like this. There are some filters here with some fans behind it, and then there is 2 controller boards. These are redundant. I'm only using the top one. I should really have dismounted the second one for that one not to use power. Then there's 2 power supplies, which you can turn off. That's the only way you can turn off this unit. You can't turn it off from inside of it. This is a like 24 always on unit, so It's not meant to ever be turned off. I have had it off quite a few times. It has 3 1 gigabit LAN interfaces, and these can be configured in different ways. It also takes SFPs, like I've done down here. This is a dock cable, and that is actually able to work with that. So pretty cool. Okay, here we are at the computer, and this is the unit. I have no idea what it costs on eBay. It's probably not that expensive anymore, and if you search for it, I can see that one of my videos are just in the picture section here. Awesome. And I'm also represented down here. Very nice, very nice. So you might have seen it in other videos. I have done videos on it. So to get access to this device, I had to install, well, maybe I could have done something else, but I have installed a Microsoft Windows XP Professional 64 bits. Other versions could probably have done the same, and I did not update anything on it because I wanted it to be as old as possible. So I have that running right here, and I have opened. Maybe we should just log out of that and go back in. So let's log out. Log out. Yes. And looks like that. It has a really old web browser as well. I have made the window a bit bigger here because it was so small over all of it. It has Internet Explorer 6.0 on it, so awesome. Doesn't work very much, but this is the IP address of the box right now, so we punch that in. Comes up with a Dell logo, and we can log in here. I have created an admin account. Normally it's group admin. I know that the admin works, so there we get in. This is how the box looks, and I said there was about 20 terabytes of available data. When all the drives, we get down to about 17.76 terabytes of data, and we can kind of see an overview of the box. If there was any bad drives, it would have a cross over it here. We can see that I have an issue with a power supply. Let's see, it tells me the errors down here. I have the issue battery has insufficient charge for a 72-hour power outage. Yeah, that's there is an internal battery on the controller cards, the cache controller. It also says this. Does it? No, it doesn't say that. But it's right now charging the battery on the cache card for it to get up into charge, and that's it. It thinks that will take 12 hours, and when that is done, I'm sure this error will just disappear again. Then we have a fan failure, or usually it's just a fan that doesn't run fast enough. So we could go check that out. Closure. Fan failed. Okay, that's not how it usually is, which is kind of weird because it says that the fans are running at these speeds, but it has failed. I think we need to go out and turn off and on power supply number 0 and see if that will help the problem. I think we will do that right now. But I had to install Java on this old Windows XP Professional 64-bit edition, which was not common when Windows XP was in use. So I had to go to another website and pick up a really old version. This is a version 5 of Java. It's from back in 2010, I guess. So I transferred that to the XP and opened it up over here, and it did complain about it being old, but it worked, so that's all good. Let's this machine did not want to have VMware tools installed, so that is teasing me. So, but let's go and remove power off power supply number 0 and turn that on again. Oh, sorry, that's the fans for cooling. This is the fan in the power supply. That's a different one. Okay, but we'll still go do the same. Okay, yeah, this looks like it must be it. This fan is not turning at all, and it's I'm trying to get it moving, but it does not want to. Oh, I've bended my pokey stick here. So I probably have to put in another power supply and see if that will work for me. Yeah, I took a power supply from the hot spare unit and I put it in, or I'm now putting it in up here. Oops. And we're gonna tighten that up again. Let's see if that helped. Okay, back into the computer, we now have green light on power supply number 0, so that helped. I will have to either clean or replace that fan in that power supply. It has been sitting off, haven't had it on for a couple of weeks. We still have that one error down here, and that's still the battery inside cache controller charging up. It does this so that if power is lost to the box, it will have, if you send data to the iSCSI box, it has some cache that will receive that data, and it will just reply that it has the data, and then it will write it to disk as soon as it can. It can do this because the cache is battery backed up. So if the power suddenly disappears, well, the battery will take over and make sure that the data that is in the cache is not lost in 72 hours. I think that's so that this can happen during the weekend and you still have a little bit of time, Monday, Tuesday, to do something about it. So don't take 3 days off. Oh, this one is actually running RAID 50. I was sure it was running RAID 6. RAID 6, and then there is RAID 6 Advanced, and that is really more or less RAID 60. You can actually change the RAID level from some to another. Sometimes you are not able to change it back again. So it's very important to do this right from the start. Okay, I just wanted to log out and try and log in again as this group administrator, and I found this thing that is also interesting. The EqualLogic PS Series Group Manager is able to run as an application. So I think we should try that. Go in and save that application, and it will download some stuff here, and we can make a little shortcut and be able to run it that way instead, which is often better because there is not as much Java security crap. Do you want to create a shortcut? And it starts it here. Cool. So I can kind of close down the web browser. That password were far away. Let's check out this menu thing here. This is a nice little overview when you get in. Then we have this group configuration. The idea is that you can connect more of these EqualLogic SANs in groups, and you can kind of span your directories and your files over multiple boxes of this kind. I never got to that. I wanted to, but then I had to copy all my data over to something else. I didn't have that. You have to have an empty box to do that, and I never got to that. So I've just been using them as two individual iSCSI SANs. It would have been really awesome to have like 40 terabytes of data. Yeah, I never got to do that. First menu here, group configuration. We have some general, I get to give it a name, an IP number, a location, Dome Tower DC, and there's a time zone and the NTP servers. those servers that will automatically ask for the time and be very precise about it. I put in a bunch of those. I don't know if it's actually doing it. It looks like it has the time, so that might be okay. Administrator, we have more or less, I have the web interface is enabled, Telnet and SSH is enabled. You can also allow only secure SSL. Then there's the authorization type, local only, but it also does LDAP and radius. So local, which means that you put in your administrators here, and that's this group administrator. We are on as him right now, and I see that I have made a couple of other ones as well. So notification, you could set up mail notification. Should we turn that off? I have been in here moving some stuff. iSCSI, here we go in and set up some security for the iSCSI LANs. Yeah, here's the SNMP where it can send out traps if there is something wrong or just telling how it's doing. VDS, VSS, not configured. Defaults, yeah, there are some things here. It uses thin provisioning if you want it to, so that is kind of cool. Advanced, here is a lot of good stuff, and I actually want to upgrade the firmware, but I think I'll do that in a video for itself. So here we're just looking at the box. Next we go into storage. Oh, I changed something. Yes, I did, so we have to save that. Thank you very much. Storage pools, here we have the pools that we can mess with. I have 3 volumes on this. I get a status here of how everything looks. We actually have to go down into the members first here, this member here, and set up an array, modify RAID. Here we can see that we are right now running RAID 50, and we can change that to a RAID 5 or RAID 6 if we wanted to do that. Yeah, so we set up the RAID, and then we have this storage pool that we can go and make our volumes on. So it's like you have one layer and the next layer and the third layer. Down here in members, that's where you configure. If I had like 3 members, like I had 3 boxes out there, if I had actually combined them into one big storage pool, they would show up down here as individual members, and I could see how they were doing down there. The combined storage would show up here as a storage, and there would be like 3 members here and status and volumes. I can see that I have an old backup here, and I have a directory that was to be for some hosting, and I have some VMware LAN 1 which I have recently emptied, so that's all good. And we can do a lot of different stuff down in these menus. We can do some cloning and off file, delete volume. I will have to go do that. I am not fond of that, but yeah, I wanna firmware update this before I do that. But the idea is that I'm gonna be deleting this box and kind of see if I can get it as far back to factory defaults as I can. Yeah, this is just a quick overview. Members, let's go down there again. Here we get a status and we get an overview of the box. We can see that right now it has the model number, it has a family number here, PS100. It's not a PS100. PS100 I think had 250 gigabyte drives. The difference between a PS100 and a PS400 was just the size of the discs here, so not a big deal. So that's the enclosure, and we still have that battery warning here about the internal battery being low. Let's go to enclosure here. That we have already seen this. This is all nice and green. Thank you very much. We have the 2 controllers. We have the active one and we have the passive one, not in use here. We have the firmware out here, that's nice. We have discs here, we can see the different discs in here. I have a lot of Seagates in this one, and then Hitachi, and some other Seagates, and a couple of Hitachis. So awesome, this is actually not bad. All of these are 7200 RPMs. I thought they were more mixed up. Then we have the network. We have the 3 network cards. Each of them has an IP number, and then there is the IP number for the management also. Connections, there is nothing connected to this version. Different versions, hard drives, versions, stuff. Maintenance, we can restart it, we can shut it down. I was sure it could not shut down. I can probably shut it down, I can't power it off. Start LED flashing, so this is like an ID, but no service tag. Okay, so that was an overview of those menus. Down here we have some more menus. We can go directly to the volumes. I think somewhere I can actually go down and see what's on the volume, but there is a lot of, I can snapshot, replicate, schedule stuff, connect. I'm gonna be deleting this, so doesn't matter. Snapshots, I don't think I've ever taken a snapshot. Replication, also a menu. It can replicate to something else, I'm sure. Configure partner, yeah, not gonna mess with that. Monitoring, we can see what has been going on. I do believe that somewhere I've also been able to dig up a nice graph at some point. It hasn't seen a lot of action since we turned it on, since I turned it on. Other options are available. It's also able to work as a NAS. NAS service is not currently configured. I have never used this, so I don't even know how it works. So we're not gonna mess with that. If you need a NAS box, well, it can do NAS as well. User, it has some menus for that. Modify user preferences. Nice. Then there's a toolbox with all the different tools. That's where we can actually see the performance monitor. Okay, it started up this performance monitor. Sometimes I can get it to show something, sometimes it's not as forthcoming. So let's pick this one. Can we do so? Oh, we can pick different disks and we can see different stuff. Can we pick the entire thing? We can't. It can do some graphs and stuff if you know what to be looking for. I don't know what to be looking for, and there is absolutely no activity on this box at the moment. I am just going over this for very last time ish. So the camera is a bit high so that we can see this today. This is really, or was really high-end enterprise equipment when it was new. I remember each of these boxes was over $100,000, even $120,000 I think each of these boxes were. They are considerably cheaper now. I'm gonna end the video here and we're gonna continue the next video where I firmware update this, and I think I'm also gonna be able to wipe the disks and reset it to factory defaults. So I hope that's gonna be in the next video. I haven't done it yet, so I hope so. Thank you very much. Oh, give this video a like. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.